Welcome to the shop. I made a video a while ago about how to create a model, plug and play with the Spektrum receiver, setting up AS3X and SAFE. What's not in that video is how do you adjust SAFE? Some of the aspects of SAFE, meaning this: when you flip SAFE on, the plane climbs, or you just don't have enough roll. You just can't get that, that plane to turn well enough or sharp enough. And it just seems like it's not easy to do a circuit without running into a tree. Well, you can make adjustments to that. And those adjustments can be made on a Spektrum receiver in like a plug and play. The bind and fly planes, you can't make those adjustments. There's a way you can make some changes to it, but that's for another video. In this video, I'm going to cover that perspective of you've already set this up, you've got SAFE running, but you're not happy with its settings and you want to make some changes. So I go over about 3 or 4 different things that come up when I, comments about how to make changes to these receivers in SAFE. So anyway, if you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll have a link in the description below for the playlist on all my Spektrum tips. So if you're interested in that, you can check it out. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
There is a way to make changes to SAFE mode to solve a couple problems that you might see when you're flying your plane. Let's get into it.
Let's play around with our SAFE. One of the things that I know people have trouble with is when they have their plane
SAFE mode
in SAFE, it doesn't turn very sharp. Look at that. I got full and it's just not turning. So I've just added a little rudder right there. So that's something to think about. If you're flying your plane and you're in SAFE and you're trying to turn and it's not turning. I mean, look at that bank. This is as much as I can. I got that yanked over. That aileron is all the way over and it won't turn very sharp. Now, so as I showed on my base to final, so I'm going to show again here, making that turn and it doesn't turn very sharp. So I give rudder. So that allows you to turn a lot sharper. So if you're flying, having some issues. Now there's another way to make a change. We can change the amount of angle that SAFE has. Let me show you what that looks like.
Let me remind you again that these are for the plug and play receivers. Some of the bind and flies, you can't get into Ford programming and do these changes. So we're going to go into Ford programming. I'm going to go gyro, SAFE, and then angle limits. It's important that you have your flight mode in SAFE. So I have flight mode 1 as SAFE. So there I can see the angle limits. Now it's set at 60. I want to increase that bank angle. And that's what you're doing here. I'm going to crank it up a little bit. So if you find yourself just not being able to, as far as bank enough, you can change that. And again, it's in the plug and play receivers. Quick commercial break for Stefan RC. If you're not familiar with my channel, I really focus on helping new pilots get the most out of the hobby. Whether it's setting up your radio, or setting up a plane, or learning how to land, or in different techniques. If you find this useful, please subscribe to the channel so you'll see all my latest videos. Thanks a lot.
If you're flying in SAFE, you flipped it on SAFE, and you notice that it is climbing too much. You're like, doggone it, every time I flip it in SAFE, it starts climbing. You take it off and it flies straight and level, but every time in SAFE
mode,
it starts climbing. Well, there's a way to adjust that also. Let me show you what that looks like.
This one's pretty popular. I get this question a lot. So we're going to change that attitude by going in Ford programming. And then we're going to go system and then SAFE panic mode. And under that, there's attitude trim. Yep. So all you're going to do there is go to pitch, and increasing the number goes up. Decreasing the number is if you want it to go down. After you're done with that, back out and go fly.
Let's say you don't want to be in self-level mode anymore. You want to have it so you have more control over it, but you want to limit the amount of angle. In the bind and flies, they call it intermediate mode. You might like that kind of mode because it just kind of reduces the fact that you can't roll over or do a loop or something. Let me show you what the difference is between self-level and envelope mode. Yep, a lot of people are like, what's envelope mode? Well, let me show you what that looks like.
So to set up envelope mode, I'm going to have another flight mode for envelope mode. And what I mean by that is right now I have three on a 3-position switch. 1 is safe, 2 is going to be envelope mode. So where it says safe there, I'm going to, instead of say self-level, I'm saying envelope. And that'll allow me to be able to limit the bank, but it won't self-level. It's kind of that intermediate mode like we talked about. The other part you might want to do also is like what we did before on making the limits of the bank angle a little bit different. So go into flight mode 2 and make those angle limits. So you want to increase it to 65, 70, whatever. This is just giving you an idea on how you can trim it and make some tuning adjustments to safe.
One of the problems that you have sometimes in safe is that you just don't have enough elevator authority. And that's where on landings can really be a problem, and you can't get that nose up enough. Here I'm trying to land in safe and she's just really floaty. Now I'm going to give a little elevator and grease that. On this plane I have it set up so I have in safe a little bit more elevator, and it allows me to get that nose up on landings. I can't do a loop, can't do any of that, it's limited. But that's a good thing in order to land. You'll find that some planes you just really struggle with getting that nose up in safe because safe is doing its job. It's limiting the amount of pitch that you have. So we can change that. So we can come in for our landings and get that nose up nice and clean like that.
And in order to make that change, like you just saw before, I changed the angle. Well, you can also change the angle of the pitch. So increase that angle will allow you to do a little bit more. So hope you got something out of this video. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you like this stuff, heck, I got a ton of playlists on cool information like this. Have a great day. Take care.